I shared a flat with Sydney, Sid as we called him, his sister. On the few occasions I met her, referred to be referred to as Sydney in a more formal sense. Interesting guy and guitar player, played the cornet, very, very good musician actually. Knew Davy Graham, was a face on the scene as it were. Interesting man, very nice man basically. The one particular characteristic of Sydney was that he was the archetypal rationalist. If ever anything to do with the paranormal or psychic or anything outside, beyond our ken as it were, and he always had a ready battery of quotations and references which actually would squash such illusions, or delusions I should say. The problem is that, in fact, he seemed to be quite prone to being having his beliefs tested. On one particular occasion, he'd been down to Sussex or somewhere, I don't know exactly where, and was hitching back to London, and was somewhere in the region of Guildford, thumbing a lift trying to get back into central London. A car stopped. I'm just assuming, I don't know for sure, probably a Morris Minor. And an elderly lady was the driver. She stopped the car and invited him to get in, and off she went. She said, I don't normally give lifts to people, but I have a message from your grandmother. Well, this was rather surprising, as he had no reason to believe this lady knew his grandmother, plus the fact she'd been dead for about 10 years. She said, to describe her, she's a small lady and she has very, very red cheeks on her face. Now, she'd actually suffered for many years when she was alive and actually died of a renal complaint, which in fact, one of the signs, symptoms, was actually her face was permanently red and her cheeks very, very flushed indeed. She said, your grandmother is extremely worried about you. She doesn't really approve of the people you're mixing with and the life you're leading, and basically she hopes or would hope that you would get your life together and get back to study and find some direction. All of which is true. I mean, of course, you know, probably one could say, you look at his clothes, probably rather dressed in a slightly beatnik manner. It wasn't too difficult to read these, but the grandma thing and the red cheeks, of course, was a different matter whatsoever. She said there's also another lady trying to get through too, not very successfully, and came out with a description of what had been his mother, who had also died several years before. Anyway, having handed on this message, as it were, she stops at the other side of the bypass and drops him off. So anyway, he comes back to London and he's really shaken by this, and, you know, very, very perturbed indeed. And I say there were other incidents that happened over a couple of years, not quite as striking as this one, but with slight psychic implications, and I don't know, perhaps the gods were trying to teach him something, but there again, who knows? You know, one always imagines the gods being rather po-faced, and certainly people viewing eternity tend to view it in a rather sort of po-faced and a matter of high seriousness, but, you know, perhaps the gods, if they exist or even if they don't exist, have a sense of humour, and frankly, when looking at the development of the human race and the horrors it's inflicted upon its members, perhaps a sense of humour is the requirement to be able to be sanguine about viewing history and the current state of the world. If you've enjoyed this video and would like to see more, please subscribe.